Hey guys, welcome to Brian's Man Cave. So for today's episode, I'm doing a game that was requested from one of my Patreon supporters. I actually reached out to all my patrons to ask them what video or what they would like to see me do, and just as a thank you for actually supporting the show. If you're not familiar with what that is, I put a link in the description below. It's the Patreon link. And if you wish to support the show, you're very welcome to do so. So the first one that came through was James Campbell. Now, he was my first patron, and he's a huge Atari fan, so I kind of knew he was going to pick an Atari game. I wasn't surprised when he told me which one he wanted, too. Now, I've had this game for a while. I've probably showed it off on at least one or two other videos for different reasons. And it's one that's kind of sitting up there on the top of my shelf. So let me just grab that right now. And that's Star Raiders. I don't even remember how I got this. I think a friend just gave it to me. I think it was part of his collection. Quite a while ago, he gave me all his Atari stuff. He didn't want it. He's like, I know you're into this stuff, so you'll give it a good home. Because I know I didn't buy this myself. Actually, it looks like he bought this from some store, I don't know, miscellaneous Atari cartridge, $4, or $4.95, pretty good deal. Now, the interesting thing about this is it actually comes with its own keypad that you need to use in order to play the game. You still need a joystick, but the keypad inside is actually required to play the game. I'm just going to open it up here and give you a view there. So this is a typical Atari style kind of keypad. It has an overlay, kind of like the Intellivision controllers. If you've watched my videos, you've seen the Intellivision stuff, the Intellivision controllers, except it doesn't have the disc or anything like that. And this thing pops off. I guess they thought that there would be interchangeable ones if they made other games, but I don't think they ever did. And then there's a keypad. Unfortunately, the keypad itself is blank. Like, there's no numbers, there's no nothing. So if you want to use it for other games, and there are a few other games that use like the keyboard controller and stuff like that. This is called the Video Touchpad, but they also have a keyboard controller for things like the Video Basic or whatever it's called. And I think there might have been some kids games that had used a bigger number pad and stuff like that. But this one was made specifically for this game. So it came with this, and it came. What's interesting is the box game inside of it. I don't know why they did that, why they didn't just incorporate this stuff into here, but I guess they wanted to package it like this, because I don't think they would have sold this separately without the keyboard controller. Maybe they did, maybe if just in case someone, their cartridge broke or something. I don't know. I'm just going to pull the game out. Star Raiders. I don't even think I've ever played this. And there's probably a reason why. I'm never really good at these space games. And I got the manual. Unfortunately, I don't think I have a comic book. This is supposed to come with a comic book. My friend probably took it out and was using it, reading it and stuff like that. But I did get the instruction booklet, which is cool. So there's a lot to read in here, actually. As far as I know, and I've seen videos on this before, this game plays very much like Star Wars in a sense. I mean, you're actually attacking things that look like Star Wars TIE fighters and things like that. So it's actually a really interesting space game. There's a lot going on. It kind of reminds me of an Intellivision game that I used to play. I think it was Space Spartans or something. It's not something that I typically would have played myself very often. So I'm going to put this into my Atari and see how good or bad I am at playing this game. Let's play Star Raiders. Okay, so now we have Star Raiders booted up. As you can see, it's 1982. Quite the big font they got going on there. And you got your typical space thing going on. Now, the one thing I can say, I really don't like the length of this touchpad. It's really short. I mean, it's only a few, like maybe 2.5 feet, if that. So you got to really sit very close to your Atari. So I'm just going to kind of lean it on the table over here, and hopefully I can. This kind of reminded me of the Spy Hunter game I did, where it requires 2 controllers. Okay, so believe you can select, oops, so there's 10, 20, 30, 40 targets. So I'm just going to go with 10. Let's make my life easy. Then I guess I just reset. So we want to turn our stuff on, shields on. Okay, that worked. Let's check the map. So I believe I just moved to where I want to go. Looks like, you know, that's your starship thingy. I forgot the name of it. Let's just go back in there. So you can see it does have that Star Wars kind of thing shooting at the screen like that. And from what I understand, and what I've heard other people say, that the targeting in this is kind of off. It's kind of weird. Almost like luck-based targeting. I believe that's my energy down there. Graphically, it's actually quite good. Like for an Atari game, it's quite good. Looks like I haven't hit any targets yet. Or, no, look, maybe I hit one. And you see, that kind of looks like a TIE fighter to me. That's an obvious Star Wars TIE fighter. Makes me wonder, you know, when they were making this game, if maybe they were thinking of trying to license it to Star Wars or to... But I believe this was originally a computer game. An Atari computer game, so... You know, if it did come out around the same time as Star Wars, maybe they were hoping that they can get Star Wars to license it or something, and eventually it didn't happen. But I'm just guessing here. I don't know if that's true or not. Because they could have just very well just been inspired by it. Now the sound effects are cool. I like the sound effects. Almost sounds like an Intellivision game to me. Almost. The thing is, the keypad, I mean, it serves a small purpose. Like, it allowed me to turn on my shields. I know there's the difficulty settings. One of them will automatically keep your shields on. I just get blown up. Crazy. I think my ship just got blown up. Let's reset the game. See what my difficulty switches are. Yeah, so if I turn the difficulty switch off, you can see my computer thing disappears and the shields disappear. So you got to turn it on using the keypad. So I hit the button that says computer on off. Then the blue, I turn the shields on, which is cool. Then I can go into hyper warp. This is the galaxy map. So I want to go there. And how do I get in there? And it does give you this view down here, which kind of gives you an idea of where things are. And I know there's a visual cue here. One is behind you, one is in front of you. Fine, no, I'm not sure what I'm doing. As you can see, and as I already said, I'm not really good at these space games. You know, I probably had this written down to be one of the Watch Me Suck at This Game episodes or something. Well, where is everything? I don't know if I ever have to go back into here. I guess you do. At least I'm able to put the other controller down on the table while I'm playing it, because you do need to use the joystick primarily. Looks like I just got blown up. Let's go back to the map again. I think they're trying to destroy this thing. Get back in there, see if I can... Did I lose my computer? Oh. That was crazy. I think I'm dead. So that pretty much was Star Raiders. I mean, yeah, I probably could have done a little bit better if I remembered a lot of the details in the bottom. But, you know, like I said, I do have the instruction manual. And so I could have looked up. I mean, I just found that, like I've heard from other people who've reviewed this game, the targeting is difficult. I mean, a lot of the times I felt like I didn't know what I was doing. Like, you know, I was waiting for something to come by and I just kept shooting. And I noticed, you know, the energy bar kept running low. The thing I did mention in there, though, was the cord on this thing is very short. I don't know why they did that. Because, you know, an Atari joystick is much longer. And I know, okay, people probably did sit in front of their Ataris a lot when they played. Like, if you go back into the past, if you go back into the 80s, oftentimes you had the TV here, you had the Atari right on the floor, and you were sitting in front of it. So it probably wasn't an issue all the time. But in modern setups, I'm noticing a lot of people, their TV is way, way back to the wall, your couch is way down here. You know, this is where a lot of, like, modern systems are wireless now because, you know, whereas, like, the older systems, you obviously had to. But the Atari did have a much, longer cord. So you could tell how much longer that's going. Whereas this is short, so kind of a pain in the butt. But I was still able to make it work. Luckily, I sit right in front of my TV. And I have a table there, so I was able to kind of angle it on the table. There isn't a whole lot of buttons, like I said. I mean, there's, you know, they give you, what, the computer to turn the computer on. You got the shields. But, like, once you turn these things on, they stay on. So you don't have to, you're not, like, constantly going back from the, you know, this. The only time you had to is when you wanted to use the map view to change back to that grid, the 4x4 or whatever it was grid. Most of the time, though, you're not. You know, when I first saw this game, you know, I pictured I'd be sitting here like this the whole time, you know, going between two joysticks. But I didn't have to. So I didn't have to try and rig anything up like I did with my Spy Hunter thing to actually make it work, you know, to have two joysticks or anything like that. Overall, though, I mean, it's actually a fun game. I thought I was going to hate it when I first saw this game. Like, I'm like, Star Raiders, meh. I looked at the back, and I'm like, it's a space game, and I kind of just disregarded it. But now that I played it, and I realized there's so much going on in there that I didn't realize it was happening, you know. And some of the other reviews I've seen on it, actually it's a pretty decent game. And, you know, I probably should spend a little bit more time reading the manual and giving it a shot. Unfortunately, you know, to me, space games are kind of hit and miss. Like, I like Astro Smash, and I like Space Invaders, you know, the typical things, but I don't normally draw towards the space games. So I often like, you know, my favorite game is like Donkey Kong, or I like the platformers, or recently I've been playing a lot of Legend of Zelda. You know, I like those style games a little bit more than I like the space games. But I mean, it was pretty cool, and I liked having this little added bonus of being able to use this while I'm playing. Because, you know, with Atari, you're pretty much always using the same joystick. And so it's nice to have something different to control. It's just too bad that they didn't make more games that would fit the thing. Anyways, yeah, I'd just like to thank James Campbell again for recommending this game. Again, this is for kind of like a thank you to my Patreons. And, you know, at the time of recording this video, I have 4 patron supporters. And hopefully the other 3 will actually come through and give me some ideas for games, or they would like to see me play. And it doesn't have to be games. It can be a movie or something. Anything that I typically talk about on my channel, toys, whatever. If I have it or if I know about it, of course. I will definitely do it for the patrons. Again, I have a link below if you would like to support the channel. I also have another link below where I have some t-shirts and stuff you could buy. Just little odds and ends that I can, you know, just to try and support the show a little bit Because, you know, as much as I have a lot of my own stuff, I would like to expand. I would like to get a little bit more things to show off. And, you know, donations are always welcome. So every little bit helps. I don't expect to make much money off of this. This isn't a money-making thing. I enjoy doing these videos. I have a lot of fun doing these videos. I talk to a lot of great people, a lot of great gamers, a lot of great retro gamers, people with the same passion. And that's what I love doing. That's why I'm doing these videos. Anyways, hope you liked the video. I hope James liked the video. Hopefully I gave the game some justice. He'll probably tell me everything I did wrong and know how to do it better the next time. And if you've played this game before, leave some comments below. I always like to chat with people who watch the video and let me know what they think. And thanks for stopping by. Talk to you later.